Welcome back, House of Agendas. The NFL season is here. The WNBA playoffs are actually currently going on.
Let's
Doug,
go.
how was your weekend?
Not too bad. Surprisingly, won some money this weekend on college football. I'm trying to think. Somebody really messed up my NFL monies this weekend. Trying to think of who messed me up. Let me look real quick. I think we both picked the Chiefs. That kind of messed some things up to get started.
It hurt.
And then
Vikings hurt me. I had them in like 3
yes,
lines. I was so sure they were going to win.
I had the Vikings in 2 parlays, and that hurt. So,
Yeah.
But the best thing is football's all the way back. We've got football for the next 4 or 5 months.
Yep.
So that's the best part about everything. Kinsey, you do anything fun this weekend besides watch football?
I actually went to Dave and Buster's down in Baltimore. They just let us in and watch the fight. Granted, we eventually did order things, but I don't think in New York you could just walk into a Dave and Buster's, sit down and watch fights for an hour before a waiter comes up to you. But
is there an entry? There's an entry fee in New York? Because in here we can just go. We can go in.
I don't know about an entry fee, but I think they would have been like, yo, like, what are you doing? Because we kind of just walked to the back and was watching fights for 20, 30 minutes before somebody came up.
Huh. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been to Dave & Buster's in a while, but I mean, it's a fun place. I mean, did you actually play any games?
Oh, no. I was just sitting there.
Yeah, I didn't know if you actually got in.
I was just actually the first full UFC event I watched.
Okay, so since you watched the whole event, what was your takeaway from the whole thing?
I thought I heard so much hype about Izzy. I thought he was one of the ones. He was just kicking and missing. And that other guy just seemed like he just had the Sharingan. I was like, yo, every leg kick he is blocking.
Sharingan. I mean, that's the worst I've ever seen Izzy look. So I don't know if that feels like kind of like an outlier, but yeah, I mean, he got beat up pretty bad that night. Obviously, we'll talk about that more tomorrow with AJ on HOA MMA. But yeah, that was a rough night for Israel Adesanya for sure.
Outside of that, it was cool to watch. It's something I watch casually. I don't think I can ever fully get into it like I do basketball and football. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was just something cool to watch and throw on.
Yeah. No, I understand. Some of that pay-per-view price is pretty crazy. So I understand not going all the way in. Yeah, so I mean, I watched the fights too, and then, just college football. Nothing else really went on this weekend. But like you said, WNBA playoffs. We'll talk about that a little bit. What's the first thing you want to touch on while we get into the show?
Honestly, before we get to sports, I just want to know, you think Shakira is underrated? Because yesterday, I already heard the song for years now, but yesterday I heard Hips Don't Lie. And yo, that song's a banger. She might be underrated.
So, I guess my question is who underrates Shakira? Because I don't really know. When you told me that, I was like, yeah, Hips Don't Lie is a banger for sure. It's super catchy. But I just pulled this up just to see. She's literally referred to as the queen of Latin music. So. Can you be underrated when you're the queen of Latin music?
It's possible. People underrate Jordan and LeBron, so it's definitely possible. If you're in the GOAT tier, it's not underrated.
Here's a good question. Do you know any other Shakira song?
Don't do this to me. If you put one on,
do you?
If you put one on, I will know it, but I can't name one. Who made Gasolina?
Without looking it up, I don't think I can either.
Did she make Gasolina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Hey.
That's another great song, but no, she did not.
Hey.
I guess one of her more famous songs is called Whenever. I think I have heard that one. It just kind of repeats whenever, and it goes back and forth.
Yeah, I know that song.
Waka Waka. I don't know that one.
Never heard of that one.
I mean, in quotes, it says "This time for Africa." So I don't know what's going on there, but that's what it says on there. I mean, she topped the Billboard top Latin charts, and she went diamond in Latin. So she's extremely popular. I've never listened to her music like that.
Sounds like she might be properly rated.
Yeah, I mean, she's the queen of Latin music, so I think she's probably where she belongs.
Hey,
but
hey, man, I just heard that song yesterday. I was like, yo, I might have download this.
yeah, I mean, she sold over 95 million records. So you tell me.
Hi, last thing I'll say in the matter, more than Biggie. Moving on. Okay. Sold more than Biggie. That's a fact. That's a fact. Moving on.
Would you like to provide context, or should I?
There's no reason she's just better than Biggie. I don't think there's no reason.
I don't think that's not what that equates to.
I think it does.
For one, he's dead. He died 30 some years ago. Such an unfair way to go about that. But you're not wrong technically, and that's all you care about. So go ahead. We'll move on.
All right. Something new we're doing this year. Well, not this year. Well, this season is we will be picking the primetime games.
Yes.
Starting with tomorrow's game, Vikings Eagles. Who do you have and why? And you could talk a bit about how you think they looked in week 1.
Yeah, I'll give you kind of the reaction to these teams, and then I'll do the pick. So Eagles, I thought they had a really impressive first half, and it kind of felt like they just coasted and let New England kind of back into the game in the second half. I got to tell you, man, I was not impressed with Jalen Hurts throwing the ball.
Yeah,
I just don't. I don't know. Like everybody's like, oh, look at Jalen Hurts throw the ball. I'm like, yeah, I mean he's solid, but I don't think he like pops off the page with his throws.
Yeah.
So I mean, I fully expected him to go 1-0 and beat New England, but I don't think it was an impressive second half by them. And then Minnesota, that's a bad loss to Tampa Bay. That's a real bad loss.
At home.
I mean, like, it's cool that Baker Mayfield got a win just because, but like, there's no reason Minnesota should have got beat by Tampa Bay. Like I feel like this season's going to be exact opposite of what happened last season. Like they won all those close games. They were 9-1 in those late games,
like score games.
Like that doesn't last forever. So I feel like that's going to be an issue for him this year. Jefferson wants a contract. You know, he still get force fed the ball, but like you still want to get paid. So that could be an issue going down. I'm going to take the Eagles to win on Thursday night. I don't know. I think they're going to probably win by a touchdown or maybe 10. But yeah, I got the Eagles beating Minnesota on Thursday night. Who you got?
I kind of share the same sentiment. Like, granted, they both didn't look the best on their initial games, but man, I kept looking at the ticker and it was like, okay, Baker has like 150 yards. I was like, wait, the house is getting close. Then eventually I found out that like Minnesota had like 2-3 turnovers. I was like, oh, well, that happened. And even though there's some injuries for the Eagles, like the way they destroyed them last year on Monday Night Football, granted, the rosters are a bit different, and just the simple fact that it's primetime Kirk Cousins, I just can't see myself trusting Minnesota. And I don't know what it is. Not a slight on Jefferson at all. I think it's a slight on Kirk and like the play calling. Like this isn't the first time Jefferson had 100+ in the first half and only had like 12 in the second half. Like it just. I'm not saying chuck everything at the guy, but if he has like 130 in the first half, they probably can't guard him. So for him to only have 12 yards in the second half, I think that's just bad. And then they allowed like a 12-yard Baker scramble on third down, so their defense is already looking iffy. So yeah, I'll be taking the Eagles.
I do want to say something about Baker. Like, no, is he the future of Tampa Bay? Is he anything special in Tampa Bay? No, but he will keep you in a game if he does not turn the ball over. Like when he's clean, but that's the problem is it's so often that he's not clean that you're just out of the game. And he did a good job of protecting the ball, and he made some clutch plays when he had to. So like there's not really much you can say about that. I expect Minnesota to play better this week, but I don't think they're better than the Eagles, like you and I said. So I think we're both going Eagles with that one. What's game number 2?
Game number 2, it's AFC East battle, so I have some stake in it. I don't know who I'm going to be rooting for. Miami versus the Patriots. Who do you got? And how scary did Miami look?
Yeah, I'm going to mention that right away. Miami appears to be week. Like if you go week by week, Miami's probably the team you want to play least as a defense.
Yeah,
because you have to deal with so much going up and down that it just feels like it's almost like an overload of information. And Tyreek Hill is last week he showed he's the best and most dangerous receiver in the league right this minute. Like right this week.
He's different.
That's not to say he has more talent than Justin Jefferson or something like that, but every week he feels like he's the most dangerous player on the field. And you have to account for that. And then we took away Tyreek Hill. Now Waddle's going down the middle of the field for a touchdown. Or, it's death by just insane cuts. And I think we're going to do our top 5 teams after week 1 after this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll save a little bit more, but I don't want to play Miami. I think the Chargers played them offensively as good as they could. And that intentional grounding call really killed them at the end of the game. The one on Herbert, that really killed their chances of having that game-winning drive. I think the Chargers played them really well, but it's going to be damn near impossible to stop Tyreek Hill this season if Tua remains healthy. So, and I'm going to say, because I'm going to make my pick, I was impressed with New England. I thought they fought their ass off in that second half.
Yeah.
Now, do I think the Eagles got a little lackadaisical and some things happened there? Mm-hmm. Sure, but they still fought and got their way back into the game. And Mac Jones played pretty clean football. If he can do that, I think New England will be in the chase against Miami, but I have Miami winning the game. I just think that offense is just too good. As good as New England secondary is, it's still going to give them nightmares dealing with those 2 speedsters.
Yeah.
So, who are you going to pick in that one?
I'm also taking Miami because, I think if it even reaches the 20s or high 20s, I don't know. I don't see the Patriots getting that much, and it's just, Tyreek. When they have him in the pre-snap motion, so he gets a running start before the ball is snapped. The defender has no chance but to retreat. Then he just cuts in, he catches it. His yards after catches, it's just unfair. And Mac, he did look very, very good week 1, but we don't know if that's more so. Belichick and the Patriots, they're usually great on week 1 just because the off season and playing gods, or if the Eagles defense is slightly regressing. So even though Miami doesn't have Ramsey, I'm still going to give it to them just because credit to him. When Tua is out there, he averages a lot.
Yeah.
So I simply think Belichick, as much as I think he's a defense guru, I think he can hold them down.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. Next game, okay, you mentioned that we're going to do the primetime games. We're also going to do our favorite teams game. So we're going to do the Jets game every week, and we're going to do the Browns game every week. This is the New York game versus Dallas. Now, if you were coming into this on last Thursday, this looks like a marquee matchup. This looks like a really great game. I'm gonna spin this to you. What can you guys do against Dallas to be there at the end like you did against Buffalo? I mean, are you guys gonna have to? Is Dak gonna have to have 4 turnovers for you guys to be in the game? Is what I'm pretty much asking, because that's a lot to ask every week.
Now, I'm not in the coaching room, but if I was just able to give them one piece of advice, I would do what the Eagles did to Micah last year. We already can't block him. We already don't have a great offensive line.
Yeah.
So if we know he's going to be a free rusher or beat his one-on-one matchup, I think what the Eagles did last year is whenever he would rush, they would throw a flat or throw an RPO right behind him. Mm-hmm. So if he's just going to rush the whole game, I think the spot he vacates, we just have to attack that spot. Yeah. Other than that, Dak last year had 15 interceptions in 12 games.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we could just hold him down, force him to 1, maybe 2 turnovers. Because it's not although granted, it was raining a lot on Sunday night and they didn't need to because they jumped out early. He didn't look that great. Now, granted, again, he didn't need to look great. Right. So, if we could just try to hold them down and keep this to a 17-14 game, it's possible. And in our running game, it did look great. Buffalo knew we were running the football, and we still got 150 plus. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to have to hope the defense holds up. Zach,
Yeah.
Just no more than 2 turnovers. I know you're silly. You're gonna give them 1. Just less than 2 turnovers. Reese and Dalvin Cook, do your thing. Garrett, make a few plays. And defense, you're gonna have to hold it down. That's our only win con. If I don't see Zach having a 250-yard plus game.
Okay, so who are you picking to win the game?
The Jets. I think just
you're gonna have to have another insane defensive point. Like it's got to be insane again. You guys are in such a bad spot with quarterback that it has to be insane every week for you guys to win.
I just think it's one of those situations to like where everybody is like you're gonna get stomped. That this is gonna be close late, and then Quinnen is just gonna. I'm hoping, man.
Okay, I mean I respect it because it's gonna be a battle to be close in that game. As good as Dallas looked against the Giants, I'm gonna take Dallas. I think they win by a touchdown. I do think you guys keep it close. I just think it's a lot to ask your defense to come up with 3 or 4 turnovers every week, especially against good football teams. Yeah, Dak is turnover prone, but, it's just a lot to ask is what I think. So I'm going to go with Dallas by probably a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
This is good. Jumps into the Monday night games. Not a fantastic game by any means. The Saints versus Carolina. I think the positive here is we get to watch Bryce Young play on Monday night, and the Saints. They have like the easiest schedule in terms of who they face quarterback wise, and I have them for like over 9.5 wins. So I need these wins to rack up early. So I'm gonna be watching just to see if the Saints can pull it out against Carolina. I'm going to go with the Saints to win. I don't think Carolina's ready to win this game yet. I think it's going to take Bryce about a year, and then next year I think they'll be much more competitive. Got to get him some receivers and some pieces. But I think the Saints win this one probably pretty comfortably, in my opinion.
I agree. I'm going with the Saints. I'm not going to act like I watched either of these teams on Sunday, so like I can't go into deep analysis. But the Saints is just like the overall better roster. So, yeah, I think they're going to take it.
And then last Monday night game is Cleveland at Pittsburgh. This is a really important game for both teams. Really important game. Coming off a really good win against the Bengals, my Browns, that is. And Pittsburgh dealt with a good 49ers team. How do you see this one going down?
Is it in Cleveland or in Pittsburgh?
It's in Pittsburgh. But I think you take into consideration Pittsburgh does have some injuries and such, but
Cameron.
It's going to be close either way. Cam Hayward's out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with y'all. I think it's going to be one of those like under 24 point type games.
Yeah.
But granted, I know the Niners defense is great, but I don't know if this was a meme, but were the yards really 199-1?
For which game?
For Steelers Niners. Was that a real thing? I mean, Steelers Niners. Was that real?
Are you talking about like right up, like when it was 17-0?
Yeah, like I saw 199 yards to 1.
I don't know if it was 1, but there was a point in the time where it was very, 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 very lopsided. It was really bad for a little bit there.
Granted, I think their defense will be able to hold y'all down a bit, but I absolutely do not trust their offense. And y'all have like even if y'all defenses are somewhat debatable, I think y'all clearly have the better offense. So I'll be going with y'all.
Okay, so here, let me just run this down because you brought it up. The first possession for the Steelers was -5 yards. Touchdown, 49ers. So that's 54 yards. Interception. So they had 5 yards, so they're even there. I mean, when it was 17-0, it looks like it was minus 8 yards to like 130. So it was not close.
Yeah,
it was not good.
I just don't see it. And y'all have a good defense. I don't see. I'm not a Kenny Pickett guy yet.
No, I'm not either. Try not to sound biased. Pittsburgh will have the best player on the field on their team in TJ Watt. He had 3 sacks last week.
Yeah.
It didn't really matter in the terms of the game. but the Browns cannot let TJ Watt destroy the game. That's really that's what I'm most worried about is TJ Watt. George Pickens is very good. Kenny Pickett, I don't trust. I'm not too worried about Najee Harris. I think we can do a good job of bottling him up. And their other receiver is hurt, Johnson.
Deontay Johnson, something like that.
Yeah, you just can't get beat by the deep ball with Pickens. And I think our corners, now that we're playing strictly man, like we're doing a lot more man than we did recently. They're man corners. We have really good man corners. So I think we've got a good shot at locking down their offense. We just cannot let TJ Watt disrupt the game and destroy the game. I got us winning by 7 in Pittsburgh.
Understandable. All right, now
I fucking hate the Steelers, dude. I fucking hate them guys.
Are there any other week 2 games you have your eyes on? Because since we play at I think we are on at 4, the 1 o'clock slate. I hope my cable gives us is Ravens Bengals. I will have my eyes on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the most important game in the AFC besides like us and the Steelers. Well, you're playing the NFC, so I'm not going to count that.
Yeah.
So really, I mean, we talked about Miami, New England. I think you got to circle Jacksonville and Kansas City, though. That's a rematch of the playoffs.
Right.
Kansas City, they really didn't look good. I wouldn't say they looked horrible on defense, but pressure was not there. Chris Jones is back this week. I'm sure Kelsey's going to try to tough it out. And Jacksonville, hey, are you legit? Like, you've got
because it was looking like the Colts was about to steal that.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. But like, let's put it together and play a good game. Like, show us that last year wasn't a fluke and week 1 was just a week 1. Let's just call it what it was, week 1.
Right.
Can you hang with the defending champs? Can you beat them? I think that's a good game. So I would say Kansas City, Jacksonville, Baltimore in the Bengals, and then, dude, I kind of low key want to watch Green Bay and Atlanta play. I don't know why, but like Green Bay really beat the shit out of the Bears, man, and Atlanta grinded out a good win last week too. So there's a couple good games, but I mean, I think why we touched on the main ones this week.
And another one that's sneaky good, I think it's going to be a nail biter or an absolute blowout, is Buffalo Raiders. Because the Raiders, they did sneak out a win against the Broncos, and granted, Broncos offense is bad, but their defense is good. And I just want to see how Josh Allen bounces back from that horrendous game.
Let me ask you a question. When has Jimmy G ever lost a game?
That's
remind me of a time he lost. I can't remember. Like, it's hard to remember Jimmy G losing.
You know what's actually hilarious is like Broussard, he throws up a graphic like Jimmy G's winning percentage is 70+. Like,
yeah. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. It's like it's absurd how much this guy just wins football games.
Wait, but speaking of Jimmy G, I'm gonna jump back to the Niners for a second. Do you think Brock is for real? Not for real, like terms of top 5 quarterback, but do you think simply because he was the last pick that we're just refusing to give him credit?
I'm going to hurt your feelings with this one. If Brock Purdy was a Jet right now, you guys would still be – I think you guys would still be a legitimate contender to win the AFC East. I think he's good. I think he is really good. I'm sorry.
I honestly might be true. Because when Zach just gets to run it back 20 yards, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And the best part about the season is I don't have to hear you claim for Mike White. Like, I don't have to hear that. I think that's one of the better parts of this year is we don't have to hear about Mike White.
Man. But would you like to tell them about how you and everybody else in the group chat and on Twitter would set the APP up for me?
I was worried, man. I tell you what. When I saw Rodgers go down, I was like, shit, we might not hear from Kenzie for 2 weeks. Like, if you guys don't pull out that win, I don't know how soon we hear from you. Like, you got really lucky and you pulled out that win. I was worried, man. I was looking on Twitter. I was filling out pictures on milk cartons. I was worried. but you guys somehow miraculously pulled out that win. So you've been pretty loud and proud about it, which is great because you deserve it after that performance on defense.
Man, I was after that Brees run. I know my whole block hurt me. I was like, "Go Brees, go Brees!" And then he dropped back. He escaped the pressure. And then he threw it away. It's like okay, but then like the play when it happened, I was like 2K now.
Yeah, it was.
And then like he was just limping. I was like, okay, maybe it was the ankle. When he sat back down, I just just locked my door. I just sat down. I turned the TV volume down. And I was just looking.
It sucks because you guys potentially could be really, really good, and you're hamstrung by a bad quarterback. It's unfortunate. And there's not anybody you could just go out and get right now that's that much better.
Yeah.
It's a rough spot for you guys. It really is.
Some people were actually saying we was gonna ask for y'all backup.
He's not proven. He's really athletic. He's got a lot of potential. I don't know if he's an upgrade right now because I just don't know. He's got a lot of potential, that's for sure. But you guys don't need potential right now. You need proven. Like your roster's at the point where you need proven, and that's unfortunate that Zach Wilson's not that either. Let's jump ahead. Let's do our top 5 teams of week 1, and then we'll move on from football. My top 5 teams, I'm going to go 49ers, I think, is the obvious choice.
Yep.
I have Dallas at 2. I'm going to put the Eagles at 3, Lions at 4, and I'm going to keep the Chiefs at 5.
Right.
So, I thought about switching. No, I'm going to put Miami at 5, Chiefs at 6.
Yeah. I definitely have the same top 2. Niners at 1. What was it? The Cowboys at 2. 3 actually have Miami because even though the Chargers secondary you could say is spotty, they still have like 2 good pass rushers. Like they have like they have like good Madden defensive players. It just doesn't work in real life for some reason. But so yeah, I'll definitely have Miami at 3. 4, the Eagles, even though they weren't that impressive, you just have to give it to them. They still beat a Bill Belichick team on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And 5, I would even though the Lions beat them, I can't put them over Kansas City. So 5, I have Kansas City.
Yeah, I figured you would finagle Kansas City in there somehow, even though they lost. But yeah, no, I get it. So that's not a bad 5. I think it's very close. Week 1's always tough because we don't have a great grasp of these teams yet. But based off of what we saw, that's my top 5 and your top 5. Move us on to the next topic, bud.
Okay, WNBA playoffs kicked off about an hour ago. Do you think it's a Liberty versus Ace collision course, or do you see a possible upset?
I don't think anybody's as good as they are consistently, and that's the problem. Nobody can beat them in a series. Maybe one game, one night you could beat them, but you're not going to beat them in a series. So I do believe we get Aces and Liberty in the finals, and that's what the league needs that to be the finals, because that's going to be that's the high profile players. You're going to get the reigning MVP versus Breonna Stewart, who's probably going to win the MVP. You're getting, Kelsey Plum, you're getting Sabrina, you're getting all Vandersloot, you're getting all these good players. Maybe Candace Parker's back and healthy, and that helps with the run. The problem is I don't think the Aces can beat the Liberty in a series because they don't have enough bench help.
Yeah,
that's one thing. That's one thing that the Liberty have really done well is go out and get bench help. What's the girl's name from Russia or wherever she's from?
Maria Johannes from France.
Yes. France. Man. That crossover she does into that shot, she's got a quick release. She's really good off the bench, and she's super dangerous when she gets hot. So I just think it's going to be Liberty versus Aces in the WNBA finals. I'm gonna pick the Liberty to win the finals right now. Do you want to pick Do you want to pick the Liberty, or should we just go on?
Of course I'm rocking with them. Besides if they meet the Aces in the finals, I'm scared of their first round matchup because the Mystics match up well with them. What's crazy is I think the Liberty in the first round, they have their tougher matchup with the Mystics, and over I was about to say the West side. Over on the Aces side of the bracket, their second round matchup, if the Wings advance, because the Wings do play them tough. I think they gave them their first L of the season. So so I think that's going to be a tough matchup. So if both teams meet in the finals, they would have had to earn it and to get there. But outside of the first game when the Aces dog walked them, the Liberty beat them by 40. Then in the Commissioners Cup beat them by almost 20. Then they lost the next game 2 days later, but that was a close game. So
right.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to depth. Unless Asia goes crazy and John Claude Jones gets in foul trouble, the Liberty should have the better all-around roster.
For sure.
Hopefully that is the finals matchup, and that's who I'll be going with, the Liberty.
If we're just going off right now, Connecticut's up 20 on Minnesota.
Yeah, they're punching them. I'm already looking forward to the Ace game at 10 o'clock.
And then the Aces play at 10 tonight. Mm-hmm. No game tomorrow, and then we're back at Friday with the round ones for the other series, or the other game ones of the other series. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. These games are all on ESPN. They're all on ESPN2. They're very accessible to watch. Go out and give these girls a chance. These are going to be high quality games when they get into the next round. I don't know if this round's going to be as great, but when you get to that next round, you're getting the Sun. In the next round, you're getting not the Mystics, but you're getting the Wings.
Yeah.
Is the Liberty most likely. We're getting good teams in the second round. So definitely I would tune in and watch that. What else you got for us tonight?
The next time we meet, will you be leading your division?
I believe we will be. I think we will be.
Because that'll take you winning and then the Ravens losing to the Bengals.
I don't think the Ravens were that good. Can we just put your Lamar bias aside for a second and talk about the Ravens real quick? Just for a second. He played really bad.
Wait, didn't he only miss 5 passes or something? Wasn't he 17 for 23 or something like that? I know that the yards were bad, but he was efficient from what I recall.
Okay, are we going to talk about the Ravens non-biasedly?
Of course.
Because they were not good. I don't think they did anything impressive. Do you?
Hey, man.
Come on. There's no way.
Look, man, Mark Andrews wasn't there.
That's true. That was true. I mean, the best thing for me is the Ravens and the Bengals both tie. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't think the Ravens did anything in week 1 that was oh, crap, they're a lot better than we are right this minute.
Yeah, that's understandable. Before, I think that was a 7-6 game at halftime. That caught me off guard, too.
And, I thought Stroud played a good, solid game for a rookie debut. Obviously, his QBR was terrible. But here's what I meant was, Lamar Jackson's QBR was 13.6. His rating was a 79. It wasn't great. That's what I meant. He didn't play well. They're just better than the Texans right now. I don't know. I think we're going to be leading the division come Tuesday.
All right. Now, all right. The last thing I asked, we'll each give one. Technically 2, but it's one segment. What is your upset of the week, and what is your lock of the week?
Upset of the week. Las Vegas over the Bills. Was that what you were going to take?
Oh, no, I was going to take just Cowboys. But, man, you got
you can't pick that twice.
All right, let me see what else is.
Okay, give me another one. Come on.
It's a sneaky one. Titans over Chargers.
That's your upset right there?
Yeah. Yep.
So you think the Titans are just going to bully the Chargers up and down the field? That's the only way they can win.
Yeah, pretty much. I just see Derrick Henry going crazy.
Okay, what's your lock of the week then?
Lock of the week. Chiefs over Jaguars. Mahomes not starting 0-2.
Okay,
stop
it.
Stop.
If Kelsey does not play, they're not good on offense.
Unless Kadarius Toney is still committing war crimes, they're going to win that game.
My next question is, when has he not been committing war crimes?
Look,
I think that's a good lock of the week. My lock of the week is going to be Giants over Arizona. I think the Giants bounce back and they're the lock of the week.
A lock with Daniel Jones is crazy. I'm
locking it in because Arizona doesn't care to win. They don't want to win.
They almost beat the Commanders.
And if the Giants were playing the Commanders, they'd be my lock of the week right there too.
All right.
It's tough. Dobbs was 21 of 30 for 130 yards. Like, they're not trying to win.
Well, that concludes the show. That was week 1 recap, week 2 preview. Yeah, let's say it like that. Yeah. So,
guys, don't forget, like and subscribe to the channel. Hit us up on Twitter. Kenzie's trying to be more active on Twitter. I'm trying to force him into it. I've got 9 accounts. I need some help. I'm begging for help out here. Kenzie gets all these reactions on his own page, but he won't come over and help us on ours.
I average like 3 likes a tweet. The struggle is out here.
He had a response tweet that had 40 likes on it last time I looked. We need that on our page.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But seriously, guys, thank you. Like and subscribe, and we will see you guys next week for some more NFL and WNBA updates. All right, HOA out.